Hey guys, Joe Smith here. Joe Smith showed off part of this a while back, so you may have seen it. Found some power mirrors in the junkyard for Joe Smith's 03 Ranger. They just had manual mirrors. And so what Joe Smith's doing, a little upgraded here. Joe Smith added in some wires. A new wire harness, added new plugs. The white one is the factory for the power mirrors. Black one, Joe Smith added for the sequential LED blinker and the heated mirror, heating element. And then got power and video. The audio's not going to get used for the rear view camera, the side camera. Of course, going to put LED bulb in there. You can see what the years of incandescent heat has done to the plug. The plug itself looks okay, just a little scorched around the top there. This first one Joe Smith's doing, Joe Smith might do something different for the blinker and heat plugs on the other side. Just kind of trial and error, make it up as you go, kind of. These are the plugs for the power mirror actuators, and then the plug for the camera. And then here's the two-way glass. You look real closely through at it from either side, you can see through, or when you stand back from either side is the mirror. Now the heating element, heating pad, the sequential LED blinker. Just got everything kind of held in place right now with some painter's tape. Figure out where it needs to be. And then got some thermally conductive adhesive to attach everything to the glass, and that way the heat from this will transfer through the adhesive to the glass, because some adhesives and epoxies act as an insulator. So don't want to use the wrong thing if you're trying to transfer heat from a heating pad to glass or metal or something else. Make sure you use thermally conductive adhesive, and you can get this on Amazon. The heating pad and the sequential blinker from AliExpress. Get two of the blinkers they get. They're like, what, 15 bucks, 20 bucks or something for the pair. And somewhere around 20 bucks or so for a pair of these. Plus they came with some the wiring harness and switch and that, because these are supposed to be to wrap around motorcycle handlebars, and then you put this shrink wrap on top of them, and then you have heated motorcycle handlebars. Joe Smith was reading the measurements and comparing, and it's like, well, that's closest thing found so far on here. It's better fit than the round ones that Joe Smith had ordered previously. They weren't too expensive. They were only about 10 bucks for the pair, so Joe Smith decided to make a heated cup holders with them. Let's see, here it is. Here's a camera then that's going to be going behind the glass. You figure out a way to make sure it's glued and flush against the glass, so that way you don't get any kind of reflection. But Joe Smith's already tried it out, and even had it connected to the LCD display on the mirror in the truck, and just held it next to the glass here, and everything worked out real good. Video picture and that. So just trying to think of unique and different things, and been finding pretty cheap ways of doing it, making it happen too. And then Joe Smith's got from this here urethane formal coating, and there's like urethane, polyurethane, epoxy. There's 5 or 6 different options of this stuff, and you can use depending what kind of chemical resistance and heat and whatnot you're working with. But Joe Smith decided that this would be probably the best option. This was probably about 15 to 20 bucks on Amazon. But we'll use it to coat and cover up all the circuitry here before putting it into the housing. And then how do you cut out a section of the housing or the holder here to hold it in place, but the part that moves for the actually the whole front flat piece moves for that. So power mirror part back there moves left and right, up and down. And this way it's cut out so the blinker will fit down in the hole there, and glass, everything will mount up flush just like it's supposed to, like factory of that. And after Joe Smith glues it in place, and he's going to take some silk corners around the outside there just to kind of help seal things up and hold it in there even better. Of course, got the switch out with the plug to make your own wire harness. Instead of splicing onto the wires here, Joe Smith's got the tools to knock the pins out, and Joe Smith's got new pins, so Joe Smith can just create a whole new wire harness using the old plug here, and not have to worry about these splicing onto these wires and making it look sloppy or aftermarket or whatever. Joe Smith make it all look factory. And Joe Smith's got a new door bezel too. Joe Smith's truck didn't have power locks or power mirrors or power windows, but adding power locks and the power mirrors, and then the window, the hole for the power window switch is might just try to cover up, fill in, or that, or figure out some other use for it. So timer control module that you can program from anywhere from like a second to like an hour or a couple hours, something like that, of run time. So once you hit the switch to turn it on, then the timer will start and turn off after a certain amount of time. So of course, when it'll be wired, so if you shut the key off, then it'll shut this off, but that way it's not like running non-stop all the time. Joe Smith heard, what was it, on some of the newer Ford Super Duty trucks, heated mirrors ran like all the time or something. No matter how hot or cold it was. Or maybe Joe Smith heard wrong. There's something about some car truck out there that people are complaining about the heated mirrors being on all the time and not shut it off or something. And of course, after it shuts off, if it still hadn't thawed out, you just hit the button and turn it back on. Not sure how well it's going to work and all that, but guess we'll have to wait and see and find out. It's all kind of experimental and trial and error, and do a lot of research and reading and tinkering and experimenting and well, thanks for checking us out. Joe Smith will do some progress videos and show some of the stuff being done here in future videos, so stay tuned. Joe Smith signing out.